And welcome back. We're picking up where we picked off, ended off last time in the Long Dark. We just effectively put the character to sleep to recover a bunch of recognition. In between building our drawing cabinet and dropping off the car battery, we actually basically spent an entire day yesterday. So most of the day came and went real quick. Because building the cabinet actually took something like six in-game hours. So now I think the next practical thing to do would either be do a bunch of hunting or go looking for more car batteries, because we need 2 more car batteries for that delivery. One place I think where there's a decent possibility of there being a car battery is heading out into Desolation Point. There's a road down Desolation Point. Decent number of cars on that road, so there's a decent possibility that there are at least 1 car battery in those cars. Heading out there is also a good way to potentially get more coal for the character. Well, before I head off, the character does not need to be carrying this many torches. So, to the pile of torches, let's add some more. There's a wolf somewhere over there. Okay, so we got 10 torches, which is a much more appropriate weight for the character. So we should have the ability to carry heavier things back. Like a car battery if you find one. Though that will still make us pretty slow. Car batteries weigh 15 kilograms. And we have, like, 8 to spare. Before I start taking movement penalties. Technically, when we were setting off, we weren't taking movement penalties either. But I did the double back because I realized that once I start picking stuff up, if I don't get rid of those torches, I'll be taking movement penalties again. And I'd rather pick up 8 kilograms of new stuff than 8 kilograms of torches I don't need. Are you a deer or a wolf? Looks like a deer. Hard to tell from this distance. Those over there are probably wolves. It looks like a lone deer. In fact, those over there might also be deer as well. It's hard to tell. Yeah, they're not changing the direction when I look at them and look away, so they might actually be deer. That's something that wolves will do when you look at them and look away, is when you look at them again, they'll be walking a different direction. Sadly, we weren't able... Well, because we did the construction during the good part of the day. Granted, the good part of the day was a blizzard, so the good part of the day wasn't that good anyway, but... we did construction during the good part of the day, so we're having to walk during... To be fair, about as good as it gets during the night as well, but it's gonna get worse real soon. And then we're gonna be working the worst part of the night. Because the worst part of the night is the end of the night. Granted, for bad part of the night, this is good looking, right? We got good visibility, which is always a double-edged sword in the game, but we got good visibility right now. I don't have enough fuel on me to get the character warm. Also just realized I'm carrying the fur logs with me, so I got fuel to keep the fire going, but I don't have enough to get me warm. because we're somewhere between -11 and -33, I think, right now.
Life.
-11. Okay, well, yeah, I don't have enough. I think it's 5 per fur log. So I only have enough on me to get temperature neutral, I think. So I should probably be pushing on. I'm not sprinting right now because the next food stockpile I have, I believe, is in Desolation Point. I think it's the bear kill in Desolation Point. So if I do a bunch of sprinting, I might not make it there before I lose well fed, or have to eat some of the emergency food. So I'm kind of balancing between, yeah, I want to be getting there quickly, because we need the warmth, with I don't want to run into calories right now. But on the other hand, that means once I get reasonably close, I probably will sprint the last little bit of the way, to avoid cold damage. Whereas right now I'm just taking cold damage to avoid burning through our calories. One thing to be on the lookout while we're heading out here is there is more salt spawns out in Desolation Point and here along Cumberland Highway. So it will make sense to harvest those. Maybe not necessarily drag them back, but make a note of when I harvested them. And where I put the harvest. So I know when they respawn if I need more salt for filling up the drying box. Because the drying box, as you probably saw from earlier, takes 10 kilograms of salt. Okay, so the wolf out here has respawned, and the wolf out here was killed more recently than the one in Desolation Point. So Desolation Point's wolves have probably respawned. Their bear may not have, because the bear was the last one I killed, and the bear has a longer respawn timer than the wolves, but... Okay, so this will be a place where I can take a moment to warm up. Yeah, we'll pass time for an hour to warm up instead of sleep. Okay, let's see if I can get myself positioned so I don't need to use lamp oil. Oops, get me there. There we are. So we do want to check cars to see if we can find a car battery. No car battery. Not sure if I walked past any cars on the road. I can check on the way back. The roar has rolled up, which is good and bad. In theory, the existing wolves technically get replaced with the Aurora wolves. So if it's only just pulled up, we're in a situation where we might actually be able to avoid the Aurora wolves by moving quickly here, as the old ones despawn and get replaced with the Aurora ones. But yeah, I do need to be on the heads up, because Aurora wolves can't be scared off with torches, but I don't have a torch out anyway to do that, so... It just basically means they're wolves that are as threatening as they would be in the situation either way. But if I'm quick enough, I can just avoid wolves altogether, and then they won't be a problem. We'll go dip in the mine over here, and that will work best. And then we'll check for car batteries on the way back, because it won't be an Aurora on the way back. Hopefully. Wait. That's one of my arrows. Thank you, Lost and Found Box, for returning my lost arrow. Empty, empty. I have a feeling that all the good stuff I left in this mine are probably left at the other end of the mine. And of course the coals are respawning here, so we'll pick up a couple pieces of coal. Well, we'll pick up all the coal and then probably do a little bit of coal triage when we get to their end. So the right here should be a dead end. It is. Sometimes it makes sense to go check the dead ends, just because that can have loot down them, slash they're often a little bit higher priority for having things to find that respawn like coal down them. So if there's a lump of coal that respawns down them, it's sometimes worth checking to see if it has. And we're looking for coal right now, so checking the respawn points for coal makes sense. Okay, sorry for the short moment of mute might there. I ended up having to cough a couple times. And while I'm still trying to play the game, and trying not to barrage you with cough, it was better to mute the mic and then fumble around trying to continue to play the game while the mic's muted. And then fumble back to unmute the mic. So that was the reason there was no commentary for a moment there. But yeah, we're basically going around the cave here. We're going in the dead ends because the only cost to going in the dead ends right now is a little bit of calories and a little bit of lantern fuel. And we are pretty heavy on both of those, so we're not worried about it. And that way we can get more of the renewable coal. And there's a big pile of pre-harvested renewable coal here from presumably when we did it before. This is probably a good place to leave the fur logs behind. One thing I will do right now is this is actually bad weather in effect for doing what I want to do. So I am actually going to take the time to read the sewing primer. Just to try to get the Aurora to pass. Whoops. Probably wasted like half an hour there. Granted, we're trying to pass time anyway, so it's wasting time that I wanted to waste but didn't want to waste sort of thing going on. Okay, so we finished the sewing primer. It does kind of look like the Aurora is still going on. But we're getting pretty close to dawn. So I may just take the risk that it will end before we run into a wolf. Yeah, Aurora's still going. And it's early morning, so it's incredibly cold. Convenient water pile, though. Take a couple of those. I think Desolation Point's one of the few zones that doesn't have any naturally occurring cattails. Which is maybe coming a little bit out of left field from you if you're like, why are you thinking about that? It's because I just picked up a bunch of water and I'm thinking about calories. So, water and food, it's always on my mind with this character. So we solved the water problem. Can I solve the food problem? The answer is yes, because I know where the bear, or I think I know where the bear kill is. It's just the process of walking over to the bear kill. to get food. Which is actually where we're headed right now. So I'm going to dip in the mine. From the mine, I can take the trip over to where the Bear Kill, I think, is. Closest place to where the Bear Kill is. We still want to wait for the roar to end because the Bear Kill is in a place where a bunch of wolves will be, and we know the wolves have respawned by now. Well, probably respawned by now. So it's best to presume that they are back. And in Aurora is a bad time to run into them, unless I want to be killing wolves. And I suppose I could kill wolves, right? We could get calories that way. We could kill some wolves and cook some wolves. It is technically done, so I can imagine the Aurora will be ending soon. So we'll probably end as we're traversing the mine down here. We'll get normal wolves back when we come at the end of the mine.
Damn, I'm freezing.
Desolation Point is one of the few places we have finished mapping. So basically we're here to loot some stuff that was particularly heavy, that because it's heavy we didn't pull out before. I don't know what that memento hit is about. I think it's about Kitty's Corner. But yeah, as you can see, there's a road that runs through here. On that road is trucks and cars and stuff that can have car batteries in them. Given the number of trucks and cars and stuff, there's probably about one car battery out here on Interloper. So we'll have a fun time trying to find... Well, we'll have a fun time trying to get the car battery back after we find it, because we'll probably find it. It's not going to be that hard to find. There's not that many cars. I suspect there's one. In fact, there might be like one in a building I found at some point. So yeah, we're gonna walk through this mine. Hopefully by the time we're out, the Aurora will officially be over. And that means we should be able to casually walk down to our food supply. Yeah, this is science that we're close to the food supply in that the wolf hides and guts are here. Which, to be fair, this is part of the reason we're trying to get this recipe done, because the wolf hide pants, which is what we're trying to get right now, are actually improvements, I believe, on our existing pants. Not necessarily in temperature per weight, but I think temperature per slot, if that makes sense. I think they weigh a little bit more. No, I'm not seeing any animals. We're still hearing the Aurora side effects, but I'm pretty sure the Aurora at this point is done. It's empty. No battery in that one.
Can't feel my feet.
Sorry, still recovering from a cold. As a side effect, every once in a while you need to mute the mic to cough and try to clear the scratchy throat before it forces you to cough.
Looks like I survived.
I think mostly my voice is unaffected. It's just the occasional cough that's being an issue at the moment.
So,
I think also actually mostly especially the fact that I haven't been talking very much for the last couple days, so it's knocking all the stuff loose from talking for so long. Because I haven't been coughing this much today. So there's the meat to get our character nice and fed. And the crows reminding us that they do exist. Okay, so we can get back to searching for the battery. One place I'm going to check quickly is I am going to check the cannery here for the battery. Because I can imagine the workshop here might be a place where one would be found. If you've been binge watching the series, I suppose you might actually know the answer to that. I haven't watched my own series that recently, so I'm not quite sure if I found one out here or not. Though I do need to be a little careful where I loot the batteries from, because at some point I will need them for repairing the transmitters, but... Because that's basically what we need batteries for on Interlopers. We need it for trading, we need it for repairing the transmitters. Okay, so it looks like I've at least got the bear hide here for doing repairs. Which, I suppose reminds me, do I need a repair? Yes, we could use a repair. I might hold off on doing it. But that makes it real tempting to want to take that with me. That's only a kilogram. Yeah, let's actually take that with us. Now, if we do end up finding a car battery, that's going to make us even slower, but... There's wolf hide. You might want, once we have this recipe, before the recipe, it's a bit meh. And wolf hides are pretty easy to make, so we can always just... That could be what we're filling up our drain counter with, is a bunch of wolves. If you get the right bait, you can lure them into good archery traps pretty easily. Okay, yeah. First guess is... Probably didn't... Oh, there's a battery. There's a battery.
Starting to weigh me down.
Okay, so we're going to be slow walking the rest of the way back. Probably have to have the character take a break somewhere in the trip. Just because of how long the trip's going to be. Got car battery number 2. We didn't even check most of the cars, so that was just a car battery out here on the table. So there may be more in the cars, but I don't want to take the car route back, because that's going to take me into wolves. That's almost certainly going to take me into wolves. So it's not a good place to be walking this slow. Plus, we definitely don't have the carrying capacity to carry 2. One is pushing it. In fact, one is pushing it enough I'm contemplating trying to figure out some way to shed some more weight. To make it more viable. One way to do this is we're going to leave a bunch of coal behind. We don't need this much coal. Okay, so now we're only like 10 kilograms over. Don't really want to shed any clothing. So it would be tools at this point. Can I leave tools behind? Which the answer would be yes if I was willing to come back and get it. Which the answer to I'm willing to come back and get it is no.
I need to drop something.
Oh, and we are actually just barely light enough that we can have the character sprint. He's not going to sprint for very long before the fatigue loss from that takes him down below sprinting level. So I'm not going to have the character sprint because I'd rather keep him moving, at least for a little bit. But yeah, I'm basically going to have the character top off on food. We're going to go back into the mine. We're going to go maneuver to the other end of the mine. I'm a little tempted to try to take a little bit of meat with us to the mine so that I have food for post-nap. Yeah, it would be a little risky, but I think I can get away with 2 kilograms of meat. Never mind.
Cold is making my head feel thick.
How do I want to deal with this? Okay, so we'll be able to casually walk back away from this guy. Okay, we de-aggro the wolves, that's fine. Yeah, we'll be able to casually walk away from this guy. We just can't take that meat. Taking the meat was too greedy. But yeah, the wolves have respawned. Initial viewings implies the bear might not be back. Because I think the bear has a longer respawn time than the wolves. We are going to want to run a whole lap of the road at some point, just to check to make sure the cars don't have a extra battery, because that would be our third battery if we found it. But I don't have the carrying capacity to take both batteries back, so we need to drop one off. And it'll probably take the rest of this episode to drop the battery off, and probably take all of what's left in this episode, take probably like half in the next episode, and we'll probably just be getting back by the end of the next one, because of how slow the battery's going to make us. So I suppose finding the third battery will actually be the quest for next stream. Sorry if that makes the stream... Well, actually, no. Finding the battery won't be the quest for next stream. The quest for next stream will be retrieving the battery, because we know where it is now. We know where number 3 is. Number 3 is right there. So the big question here will be getting it all back. Long, cold walks while we're very heavy. And in fact, now that we know where the second one is, there might be a little bit of, we take it a little bit, drop it off, go get the next one, take it a little bit, drop it off, just to try to minimize the real amount of doubling back. Especially as we know we have food in this local area, so I can always go get some food. Leave the batteries behind so we move a bit faster and go eat some food. So we fold this one into the
I'm not
mine.
sure I can carry much more.
I'll go ahead and leave this one here for the moment. I know there's going to be a couple things I don't need while we're going and retrieving the second one, right? So I don't need this pot, don't need that pan. I'll keep the axe because I need it for the defensiveness, but I don't need the knife, don't need the pry bar. These are things that I'll want when we get back. We'll leave the torch behind. We'll take the bow. We'll take the torches. I shouldn't have been taking the woodworking tools with me, so we'll leave that behind. And now we're getting pretty close to being able to walk full speed with the second battery, so let's go retrieve that second battery. We'll pick it up, we'll haul it back up to the mine. And we'll probably slow walk through the mine with one of the batteries and our gear. We might take the nap that ends the episode at the top of the mine. Questioning if I want to take a long nap or a short nap. Because if I take a short one, it'll still be... Well, it'll be the good part of the day for traveling. So we won't regain a lot of fatigue and won't regain a lot of condition, but we'll be in the good part of the day and hopefully not
Something's gotta go.
get cold traveling from the inner mine, inner zone mine to the transition mine. And if we're just traveling from mine to mine, there shouldn't really be any wildlife anyway, so it's just to travel. I may also use a little bit of my backup food, so we don't need to take as many trips for food. Okay, so we're here, so let's pick this stuff up. I might do like we did last time, where we dropped the stuff up here, and not have to slow walk through the mine with the second battery. It's not going to be light enough in here without the torch, or without light source, so we're going to light the lantern. looking at that fatigue, I probably will want to rest the character a little bit just to get the carrying capacity back so we can walk faster. So I'll probably try to sleep the character into the good part of the day, and not through the good part of the day. So we can be transporting the batteries in the good part of the day outside. So we'll sleep like 3 hours, 4 hours. And hopefully the weather is good, and then we'll hold the batteries up to the other mine. The good weather, and if the weather is still good post-mine trip, once we get it out to the other end of the mine, we might try to take it at least as far as the basement. But that'll all be in the next video. So we got the battery up here, so leave the battery behind. I'm going to drop a bunch of stuff so we can move faster the second trip. We're going to keep the torch, but we're going to drop the axe because we don't need the axe for this trip. Here we go. But we have to keep the lantern, of course, because we need to see our way. We'll go retrieve that second battery. We'll drag the second battery up. Ah, that's the salt. We'll fetch the salt in a moment. Salt is one of the things we are at least trying to harvest while we're here. We're not necessarily going to hold the salt back. Yeah, this stream's quest is apparently getting the car batteries for the wolf pelt pants back to, well, not to Quonset, back out to Coastal Highway. And I suppose there may still be, somewhere out here, a third battery, because I'm surprised we found one so easily. How much water do I have on me? I'll leave the water here, come on. But yeah, so hopefully within the stream we'll get the batteries delivered, and then next stream will probably be getting the oil, which will probably just be a big fishing trip. Hopefully my voice will be a little bit better, so I can keep you entertained as we work through the fish. Because I think 3 liters of fish is going to be, it's going to be a lot of fish. It's going to be something like 60 fish. So I might have to actually pull out the multi-hole fishing again to make that semi-time efficient. Okay, so we deliver the battery. I am going to go retrieve the salt. We're going to go mine this salt. This is, looks like, first I gotta retrieve my hatchet. Forgot the salt requires a tool. Because I always carry a tool usually, so didn't realize it needed one from the last couple times. Now, I'm not sure if it actually requires a hatchet specifically. It might be a hatchet or crowbar or pry bar or a knife or something. And it's just hatchet is what it tells you when you don't have any of them. You know, let's take our hatchet to this. Okay, so we've got all the salt. I think that's all the salt in this mine. I think there's only one big deposit of salt out here. And we acquired how much salt? 5, 10, 15, 20, so 20 times a quarter. So, 5 kilograms of salt. Acquired 5 kilograms of salt out here. We're not taking that home during the stream, but I wanted to harvest it so we can get the timer going on it. So we are on day 111. So day 111. Harvested 5 kilograms of salt in mine in DP. Okay. So let's get our character hydrated. And then we'll try to recover a little bit of fatigue. So let's do a 4-hour rest. And this is where I'll go ahead and put the cut in for the video. So I hope you've been enjoying it if you're watching on YouTube. There will be another part up tomorrow. And if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break and then be right back to record the next part. Catch you all in the next part. Bye for now.